one-horse town to me.
You know that feeling when you're driving through a small little town in the middle of nowhere right at dusk, and there's white picket fences, kids riding bicycles, people waving from their porch. Everything looks perfect, but something feels just a little bit off, like the whole town is hiding a secret. Well, today we are counting down creepy small town horror movies packed with that thick, spooky atmosphere. Now, this is one of my favorite genres of horror, and these aren't big city slashers. These are places where everybody knows everybody, and that makes the evil hit even harder. So let's get into it. Pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. Alright, so creepy small town horror with a heavy dose of atmosphere. I love this. I love heavy atmosphere horror. I love creepy small town horror where everything is just right there under the surface, all the supernatural possibilities. And I've got some good atmospheric horror lists coming up, but today we are focusing on small towns, and we're going to start with number 10 in 1976's The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And this one hits a little bit different because it's loosely based on real unresolved murders in Texarkana, Texas back in 1946. And what I like here is you see a good bit of the small town. That has to be a big part of this. It's a quiet little border town just after the war, everyone looking forward to a bright future. Then a hooded killer in a white sack mask, a la Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2, starts attacking couples on lovers' lanes all across there. No fancy motives, no big reveals in this one, just brutal, random violence in places where people thought they were going to be safe. And the big mask alone might be nightmare fuel, and that slow, methodical stalking through shadows of a sleepy southern southwestern town, it makes every back road, every parked car feel dangerous. It's pure, it could happen here dread. I mean, I come up from a small town in Georgia, in the country, and there are these tales everywhere of don't park your car here, it'll roll backwards uphill because someone was murdered out there. And all these, that kind of all wraps into The Town That Dreaded Sundown. There's a bit of a cop procedural in there. It doesn't matter. It actually works on this, and you feel the intensity of The Town That Dreaded Sundown. It comes in at number 10. Now at number 9, we go to 2018, so we're still doing this right, but it is a movie set in the 80s, perfect small town Americana with summer of 84. And in this one, you get pure 80s nostalgia with a very dark twist. You've got a group of teenage friends in a perfect suburban neighborhood, and they're spending their summers very Goonies style, very old school. In the 80s, we would go on little adventures and explore barns and haunted houses and work up all this stuff in our imagination, and that is very well captured here. But they are after their friendly neighborhood cop because they think he is actually a serial killer. And maybe it's just their imagination, maybe it's just kids cooking up all those summer adventures, but maybe not, because they spy on him from tree houses while riding their bikes through sunny summer streets, and they slowly realize that the guy waving at them every day might be a monster who is taking kids. It captures that childhood feeling perfectly of suspecting adults around you who aren't really what they seem. The small town setting that makes the paranoia feel somehow kind of claustrophobic, and the classic who can you trust atmosphere wrapped up with the adventures of friends, even a little wish fulfillment with the beautiful babysitter who's great in this. There's a moment with the babysitter and the the guys that she's babysitting, particular one who's only just a minute younger than her, just a couple years, just a little young to be too young for her, and is a great moment that'll sell you on the movie and this time period. Summer of '84 comes in at number 9.
You know the stuff you're taking out of here is killing people, Mel?
Kid, this isn't stuff. This is chemical waste.
Now at number 8, we have one that is just now being released on 4K, and it deserves it because small town horror always deserves this one. And this one stars Wings Hauser in 1984's Mutant. And in this one, you get two brothers who roll into a southern town for a getaway, and everything starts going wrong. People are getting sick, folks are disappearing. Something is turning these nice townspeople into aggressive mutants. It's almost like vampires, zombies, whatever you want to call them. And there's people that kind of know what's going on. It's that whole creepy what's going on under this small town atmosphere, but it's spreading. And what starts as sort of a laid back southern town, or at least what they perceive is that, becomes a nightmare where your neighbor might not be your neighbor anymore. It might be this thing. It might be a toxic waste monster who slow builds the whole community into changing into basically the Night of the Living Dead vibe. An underrated gem here. And coming from the South, this definitely has Southern small town accuracy to it. And that adds to the creeping dread of this underrated gem. I cannot wait to get this movie and check it out on 4K. You can check it out on Tubi. But no matter what, if you like creepy small town horror, check out Mutant. It comes in at number 8. Now at number 7, we have one of my favorite all-time creature features that's a little sleazy, but it also has that small town atmosphere, a small town descended on by creatures in 1980's Humanoids from the Deep. And this is where you have a struggling fishing village on the Pacific coast, and they pin their hopes on a new cannery in town. Then something in the water starts changing. You get fish monsters, half man, half fish, and they start coming ashore at night, and they're going to kill the men, and they have, let's just say, much worse plans for the women in town. They're trying to fulfill their biological imperative to breed, if you know what I mean. And this is a Roger Corman produced creature feature where a very young, pre-The Thing, Rob Bottin did most of the creature work in here, and it still looks spectacular, even in one of the best 4Ks I've ever seen. The practical effects on the monsters still hold up, but you have this sleepy coastal town, this very much at the forefront, and you've got people that kind of know what's happening and they're not telling other people. The fog starts rolling off of the water. That sense that the sea surrounding them itself is turning on these people. It's got that thick, slimy, small town, under siege atmosphere. Beautiful night scenes. You got a small town carnival. These creatures look great. The women are beautiful. Yes, it's exploitive to the point that the director kind of wanted her name taken off of it and didn't finish it, but then later said, yeah, it's a banger. You gotta love Humanoids from the Deep. Creepy, small town, sleazy creature feature. Check it out. It comes in at number 7. Now at number 6, we have a classic Stephen King miniseries here. Now, Stephen King is literally the king of small town creepy horror, and he kicked that off on TV in a big way with 1979's Salem's Lot. And if you don't have this 4K by Arrow Video and you love owning movies and seeing them in their best quality and really experiencing this thing is a home run. Just watched it before doing this video, and this is a masterpiece of small town vampire horror. You've got writer Ben Mears, who returns to his childhood home of Jerusalem's Lot in Maine, and an old haunted house on the hill gets new owners, and slowly, one by one, the entire town, everybody in it, starts changing. Kids floating outside windows. I've told this story many times. This movie still gives me the creeps as an adult. The kid floating outside the window makes me hate having to close window curtains and blinds at nighttime that are left open. People you know your whole life are suddenly pale and hungry for your blood. The whole community is quietly falling under this spell of pure evil. And you've got Toby Hooper back here directing this thing with thick, oppressive, small town New England atmosphere, quiet streets at night, fog, a growing sense that the town itself is dying from the inside. One of the best, the whole town is in on it. The whole town is turning stories ever committed to film or a novel in this case. Salem's Lot comes in at number 6. Now at number 5, we have one of the most overlooked of the Stephen King small town horror, but I think it is maybe the best, with the exception of one, and that is 1993's Needful Things. And listen, this is Stephen King again, and a mysterious shop owner named Leland Gaunt, played beautifully by Max Sydow. And listen, Leland Gaunt is just a stage name for this character. He enters the quiet Maine town, it's always Maine, and starts granting people their deepest desires for a price. One little object at a time, he turns friends against friends, neighbors into enemies, and the whole peaceful town into a powder keg of violence and chaos. It's the ultimate be careful what you wish for, the ultimate everything has a price, it'll only cost you your soul kind of story. In the small town setting makes it hit even harder. These people who have known each other their whole lives they become almost like slick outsiders tearing each other apart. Needful Things. Oh, the carpenter from Nazareth, I knew him well. He died horribly. Listen, that line delivery by Max Sydow tells you all you need to know. Dig deeper and you'll find out exactly who Leland Gaunt is in Needful Things. Now at number 4, we have maybe my favorite werewolf movie of all time, and it's Stephen King again. What can I say? It's 1985's Silver Bullet. And listen, this is another King adaptation, but this is maybe the best werewolf movie of all time. It's between this, The Howling, American Werewolf in London, and I put Dog Soldiers up there too. But a young boy in a wheelchair and his sister and their uncle are the only ones who are piecing together what is happening in this small town. And the atmosphere is pure 80s small town, summer nights, fireworks, church socials, back roads, but something monstrous is picking people off. Gary Busey as the drunken uncle adds heart here. You got Corey Haim as the main character, but the werewolf is no joke in this. There's a nightmare sequence where the whole town turns into werewolves, and this tight-knit community slowly realizes that one of their own might be the one who is the beast. Chef's kiss, Silver Bullet, no notes, perfect creepy small town horror. Now at number 3, we have a classic that puts together Ray Bradbury and Walt Disney for 1983's Something Wicked This Way Comes. Disney went dark here. They often did. They got away with it. It kind of got brushed under the rug, but not here, because a mysterious carnival rolls into town in a quiet Illinois sort of small town suburb, and it offers people, again, their deepest wishes, but always with a terrible twist. Very much like Needful Things, though this came first, and you actually literally have maybe the representation of the devil. He's literally wearing a black hat. He couldn't be wearing a bigger billboard that says, "I'm a villain." But the carnival itself even feels alive. It feels wrong. Creepy carnivals are just creepy. The Dust Witch, the carousel that can age you to death or turn you into a child, which Stephen King picked up again in his most recent book, Fairy Tale. Ray Bradbury gets the story here of perfect autumnal small rural town atmosphere, golden leaves blowing this way and that, storms, rain clouds, weather vanes, lightning, 80s blue lightning, but underneath it all there's pure sinister magic. One of the most beautifully spooky and creepy carnival and hell comes to town stories ever made. Something Wicked This Way comes in at number 3.
This is the road to Potter's Bluff. There is no road out.
All right, now coming in at number 2 is one that a lot of people don't know, and I admit, even though I grew up when this movie came out, this is one I missed until just a couple of years ago, and it is full of atmosphere. It is 1981's Dead and Buried. And listen, this one is sneaky. You've got another small coastal town of Potter's Bluff where tourists and townspeople keep disappearing, though the locals seem very friendly, but maybe just a little bit too friendly. And as the sheriff starts investigating, he realizes, hey, I'm new here. This is a little weird. Something's off. It's deeply wrong in Potter's Bluff because this is the road into Potter's Bluff. There is no road out. And he's going to find out why, because the town has a horrible secret and bodies aren't staying buried. Let's just say that. The practical effects, the eerie atmosphere, the classic nice townsfolk are trying to hide something terrible kind of vibe. It builds slow, but boy does it pay off with some genuinely disturbing moments. All atmosphere, Dead and Buried comes in at number 2. Now, before we get to number 1, listen, I could put The Fog on here. There's several lists, whether it's just ghost stories, small town horror, creepy atmosphere, good horror movies for rainy, stormy nights. The Fog is legendary. It could fit on all of those. So we got to make room for some others, but don't be hollering at me, how could you forget The Fog? Trust me, I didn't forget it. All right, now at number 1, where else would I go but Stephen King one more time with 1990's It. Listen, this one's at the top because it literally drives home the whole idea that the whole town, and everyone in it is affected by the supernatural, the evil underneath it. The whole town is it in some way. The book says it multiple times. The movie says it multiple times. And this one takes place in Derry, Maine. And every 20 years, something evil wakes up and feeds on fear and kids. Pennywise, the dancing clown, is the face of the fear and the evil, but the real horror is how the entire town has been infected without really realizing it. People look the other way. They forget. They let the cycle continue. The adults are complicit in their denial and in their lack of remembrance, while the kids have to face the nightmare head on. And Tim Curry's performance in this is absolutely iconic. It is thick with atmosphere and vibes, rainy, decaying, small town, dread, the idea that evil has seeped into every soul in the community. It makes it the ultimate creepy, eerie, small town horror story where good always fights back, but the evil is just there, oppressing everything it touches. It comes in at number 1. So there you have it, the small towns that looked peaceful on the surface, but then had something very wrong just underneath. These movies nail that spooky atmosphere where the setting itself becomes a character in the film, the kind you can throw on during a rainy and foggy day, though don't worry, I got a list of just those on their own coming up, and let it sink in. So let me know, out of these movies, which one creeps you out the most? Was it the fog rolling in? Was it the friendly cop next door? Was it the whole town turning on itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments and I read them. You guys know I respond to as many as I can. Right now we are halfway to Halloween celebrating here on the channel, but we do horror movies of all kinds, deep dives, essays, so much because I love talking movies with you. If that's your jam, please like and subscribe. Hang out with me. It really helps out. And if you want to help support a little bit more, you can join my Patreon. The link is always in the description. You'll get your name on every single video. Behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, physical media reviews and deep dives, members only videos, and so much more. And it all helps the channel, and I really do appreciate it. So stay spooky out there and think about it. The next time you're driving through one of those little towns on the way to somewhere else, there might just be something underneath. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.